Started from the bottom, self-made, boss, generational wealth. These are all words that I hear thrown around daily without much thought or action. I mean, we talk about building generational wealth without first talking about how we're going to create wealth for ourselves. Think about it. Before wealth can become generational, we first have to create wealth. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk to you about in this video. How do you build wealth when you start with nothing? And there will be no theory in this video because I'm sharing all the obstacles I had to overcome, and I'm gonna walk you through the exact steps that I've taken to start building wealth for my family. What's up, my people? My name is Diamond, and thank you for being a part of this community. If you're new here, don't leave without clicking the subscribe button and turning on your notifications. I grew up in poverty. In fact, I grew up in one of the poorest cities in America, where nearly 40% of the population lives in poverty. Now let's take a look at the definition of poverty, which is defined as an extreme state of being poor. And monetarily, the federal government defines poverty as a family of four making $26,500 a year or less. And growing up in an environment such as this, I'm just thankful that I turned out the way I did, because I grew up around alcoholics, crackheads, murder, violence, and drug dealers. I had the blueprint laid out in front of me on how to become any one of those things. But luckily, I took a different route. And anybody who grew up in an environment like this, you know that you didn't start from nothing. You started buried underground, and you had to fight and claw your way out of that as a teenager just to get your head above water. And that's why building wealth is not even on your radar. Now, to kick this off, I'm not going to say that growing up in these conditions was all bad, because I truly believe that I would not be the person that I am today had I not went through some of the things I did growing up. But growing up in these type of conditions definitely created some obstacles that was counterproductive to building wealth. And one of these obstacles is the fact that nobody talked about building wealth. And this lack of discussion around creating wealth led to a whole host of obstacles that we'll get into here shortly. I didn't hear about wealth in my neighborhood. It wasn't talked about at home. It wasn't something I learned about in school. In fact, I didn't even see wealth on TV. But what was thrown in my face was people with money. Rich. I heard about how to get rich, rich people, rich this, but I never heard about wealth. And so what did I do? I created a connection between making money and rich. Because from what I could see, the people who were rich had made a lot of money. And unbeknownst to me, there's a big difference between rich and wealth. People who make a lot of money versus people who have a lot of money. And by not talking about wealth, the basic money principles that's needed in order to build wealth was something that I did not learn. And I also didn't realize that as a 20-year-old firing on all cylinders, ready to go take on the world, but I had no idea how money really worked, nor did I know how to use money to create wealth. In fact, I was absolutely clueless that my best plan for the next 10 years, what I thought was gonna take me up to the next level, was really gonna end up causing me to stay broke and have me living paycheck to paycheck and be as far away from creating wealth as you could possibly think. So the discussion about building wealth is a discussion that we have to have, because financial literacy is the key if you want to overcome your environment and you want to be able to build wealth. The second big obstacle that I had to overcome was the survival mindset. Anybody who grew up similar to me, anybody who know anything about being poor or living in poverty, you understand this survival mindset. This is not something that you're taught. This is not something that somebody sit down and explain to you. It's just something that is ingrained in you because you're trying to survive. Your family is trying to survive. You're trying to survive. And before you know it, you're an adult. And what you've been doing is you've been surviving. You don't even realize that you have this mentality. But I definitely had a survival mindset. And what that made me do was it made me want to go out and hustle, go out and make money. I seen this growing up. Everybody had a hustle. From the person selling tacos out their house to the man selling fireworks or socks on the corner. Everybody had a hustle. Everybody was surviving. And to this day, I can remember the year where I made $12,000. So from that point going forward, my primary purpose was to make the next year better than the last. Because we're talking about starting from nothing. And $12,000 to live on for a full year, that's pretty tight. That's pretty rough. So I had this thing where I just wanted to make more money. Like if I was to make more, then everything would be okay. And that started a perpetual cycle that continued for nearly a decade. And what happened is, before I realized it, I looked up and I'm like, whoa, when is enough enough? And why am I still not in any better position today than I was the year I made 12,000? Sure, things are nicer, house is nicer, car is nicer, things are better. But when you look at where I was at financially, I was that same person who was no closer to building wealth. Even though I had doubled my income and doubled it again and doubled it again, I was still trying to make more because I was in that survival mindset. Like, I gotta make more. Everything will be solved if I just make more. More. But the truth is, more is definitely part of the solution, because coming from poverty, you do need to make more. That's how you get out of poverty. But it becomes a point where those money principles that I was talking about that I didn't learn, those money principles are there regardless of if you're making $12,000 or if you're making $112,000. Is certain principles around money that you have to have in place if you want to get off the track of being in poverty or middle class or poor and move over and start building wealth. And the primary reason I was stuck here was obstacle number 3, which was a false sense of success. So what do I mean by a false sense of financial success? What I learned, what I saw, what I heard, the connections that I made between financial success and money, right, wrong, or indifferent, was that financial success looked like a nice house, driving a nice car, dressing in nice clothes, having money in your pocket. Those all screamed financial success. But the truth is, now that I understand it, is that you can have all those things and you could be broke as a joke. I mean, the person who works at a minimum wage job could be more financially successful and stable than somebody who drives the luxury car and lives in the nice neighborhood. But going back to the survival mindset, where I was trying to make one year better than the next, I was running from this $12,000 income and trying to make more each and every year. I was actually chasing those things that I thought meant I was successful. So I was trying to replace the 15-year-old car with a newer car. I wanted to go from renting a house to buying a house, because once you buy a house, that's it. You've made it. That is success. What I realize now is the same tools that you can use to help you build wealth can also be used against you and prevent you from building wealth. So how did I overcome these things? That's what I want to talk to you about now. Here are the exact steps that I used to start building wealth for my family. The first thing I did was I started talking about money, because what I realized is that wealth is not for a select small group of people. They can have it, but you can't. It's only so much and it can't go around. No. What I realize now is that wealth can be created by anybody who can produce an income. And that includes me. Where I grew up don't matter. The zip code that I came from, that's not going to stop me from building wealth. The only thing that can stop me from building wealth is me and my decisions. So I started talking about it. Me and my wife, we started thinking about, what does life look like? What does wealth mean to us? Because when you look at the definition of wealth, what stands out to me is an abundance. And so before we can have an abundance of money, because we are talking about money here, before we can have an abundance of money, we need to have enough money. And so we had to figure out, what is enough? What does that look like? So we thought about it, figured out what we want to do, how much money we would like to have each and every month. And from there, I was able to use a retirement calculator where you can punch in however much money you want to have each and every month. You can put in an expected rate of return. You can put in inflation, how many years you plan on working before you get there. And what this did was it spit out 2 numbers. The first number was a big number. For me, it was over $2 million. And that's a big number coming from where I come from. And quite frankly, a little intimidating. But then it spit out a smaller number. And the smaller number was what I needed to be investing each and every month. And I'm gonna be honest, at the time that we were doing this, even the small number, I had no clue on how I could come up with that much extra money on top of all the other obligations that I had. In fact, it was just impossible. No way could I make that happen. But then I did something that changed my financial future. And that was, I added up all of my payments, credit card payments, student loan payments, car loan payments, all of my payments. I added them all up. And what was interesting was I couldn't invest what I needed to get to the number that would provide for my family indefinitely because I had all these payments over here. And I started thinking, hey, if I didn't have to pay all of this money each and every month, hitting my target over here for my investments would become way easier and super simple. In fact, I would be able to do that plus more. So that led me on a journey to start getting out of debt. And I've made some videos on this channel about my journey on getting out of debt. I talked about some of the mistakes I made. You should definitely check some of those out if you're in debt. But what I did was I got focused, and it took me a few years to get there. This was not something that just happened overnight or 6 months or 12 months. It took me almost 3 years to pay off all my debt. But here's the secret. Your income, my income, that is what I need to use in order to build wealth. Nobody's giving me money for me to invest. So it's going to come from the money that I make. And by paying off all my debt, I freed up all of my income. So now all of my income now can be used for building my future. And I'm not obligated to pay anybody for anything that I've done in the past. So now I stay far away from debt. I live a debt-free, payment-free lifestyle. And I'm putting that money towards my future each and every month. That's the second thing that I did. The third thing I did was I automated my investments. So after I set up my accounts and figured out my allocations and what I was going to invest in, I put my investments on autopilot. So now when I get paid, I know that the money that's to be invested is done off the top. I don't have to think about it. I don't touch that money for nothing. And what I bring home after that, that's what we have to live off of. And if you want to see more videos about investing, you're in the right place. I did a video already about brokerage accounts and how to set one up, but I definitely have more investment related videos because that is where I'm at right now. That's where my focus is at. So if you like that kind of stuff, make sure your notifications are turned on. And in the comments, go ahead and let me know what type of investment videos you would like to see on this channel. But automating my investments has been crucial. I can't forget it. It never not happens. It's just off the top each and every month. So I know I'm doing what I need to do to build that wealth. The fourth thing I did was I planned ahead because there's no such thing as an emergency car purchase or an emergency couch. So I plan ahead for things that I see coming. I have an emergency fund for things that I don't see coming. I just plan ahead to the best of my ability. I want to make sure that things don't sneak up on me because what's the easy way to solve a problem? The easy way to solve a problem is always going to be to sign your name on the dotted line and go sign up for another payment. So far, we've been talking about things on offense, things that you can do to help you create wealth. Well, planning ahead is my defense, my emergency fund, defense, my new car fund, defense, everything that I'm saving for that I know is going to come up eventually. That's me playing defense so that I don't have to tap into my investments. Because again, I'm trying to get to that big number. Because remember, that number is not wealth, that's just enough. I have to hit that number and surpass it. And anything above that puts me in the wealth building category. Now this fifth step is how I'm taking what I'm doing today and making it generational. As some of you may know, I had my first kid last year. He's about to be 9 months old, crawling around, standing up, getting into everything, just having a blast. And I am the foundation. Me and my wife, we are the foundation for generational wealth. My great-great-grandkids will look back and say, my great-great-granddad Diamond, yeah, he started this generational wealth. It started with him. And here's how I'm doing that. When my son was born, I opened 2 accounts. Because remember, I'm already doing what I need to do for me and my wife and what we need to do to live how we want to live. But when my son was born, I opened 2 accounts. One account is focused on college. That's his 529. Another one is a UTMA. And a UTMA is an account that you can use to invest for your children, and it's their money. Like once you put it in there, you can't take it out. can't take it back, it's theirs. But you can invest that money for them. And so what the purpose of this is, at least for me, is I have these 2 accounts. And what it's about for me and my family is about creating options. Because as we've worked through debt, as we've created a little money for ourselves, what we realize is that all we really have gained is options. But with options come power. And so what I want to do is make sure that my child has options. So when he grows up, if college is the route for him, I want that money to be there so he can go to college without hesitation. But if he's an entrepreneur and he want to get going on his own thing, I want him to have money to be able to do that as well. So no matter which way he go, maybe he goes to college, graduates, and then opens a business. Whatever the case is, I want him to have those options, and that's exactly what these accounts are going to provide, options. And of course, the conversation of money and wealth will be had in our household. That'll be talked about around the dinner table, because I don't want my kid to have to learn this stuff from somebody out there who don't have his best interests at heart, somebody who's building their wealth by selling him a false dream. I don't want him to have to learn it the hard way, aka the expensive way, how I had to learn it. And I want to make sure that I'm the last person who can say, I started from nothing, self-made, as if that's a badge of honor, as if that's cool. That's not. I want my kids to say, I didn't have to start with nothing. My parents were smart with money. They took care of themselves. They set me up really, really nice. And it really got me going in the right direction. And I'm doing the exact same thing for my kids, because that is how we create generational wealth. And that's how we keep moving forward. If you're moving forward with me, click that like button. And until next time, I'm Diamond. Peace.